What up, people? We're here for a Sunday session and it's time for decisions to be made. This is how it is. It's this time of year. Decisions are made. So, how big are your decisions? And that is how you tell the size of a person, by the size of their decisions they have to make, or bigger problems come to bigger people. So, let's lean into that a bit. And Muzz will get here. He's coming. We're going to talk about decision making. So, this time of year, it's July. Have you done your taxes? Decisions has to be made. Speaking of taxes, I'll lean into that a bit more when Muzz gets here. Right. So the size of your problems. Is going food shopping a problem? It shouldn't be. Right? That's a what they, some people call that's a fucking poor person's issue, not being able to afford food shopping. So let's fix that. Are you time poor? So you're too busy working, you don't have time to spend with your family. Well, that's a problem, but we got solutions to fix that too. So how are you going to spend time with your family? You have to substitute your income. How? We got ways of doing that. So, this is the size of the problems determine the size of the solutions. So how big are your problems? I'll just take a minute. Mighty Muzz, how are you?
Good, Stuart. How are you travelling? G'day, everyone.
Mate, I am firing on all cylinders because it is July. And in July, you have to do your tax. So I was just leaning in hard on the issue before is, so let's say you do your tax, right? And
yep,
if you're not paying tax, you're not making money. So let's just put that out there for starters. So if you're not making money, you've got an issue. Because if you're getting tax back, then you've obviously paid too much in tax. And is that a one-way solution? Is that a work-only problem? Do your 9 to 5, you pay your tax. Oh no, I paid too much tax. I get money back. What the problem? You don't dare complain to me if you've got to get tax back and you complain to me you haven't got enough money because you haven't tried it hard enough to earn more money. Right? So you're on mute, mate. So the solution, you have to unmute yourself. You want me to unmute it? I don't know if I can. I'll try. No, I don't want to click finish. You're over there. Anyway. You'll have to work it out to unmute yourself. So what I'm leaning into, right? So if you're getting tax back, what are you going to do with that money? So let's say you earn your 100 grand a year and you're going to get 5 grand back. It's like, what are you going to do with that 5 grand? Are you going to go down the pub? Are you going to go on a holiday and just waste it? Or what if you start a business and turn that 100 grand into time freedom and more money? Like, simple solution. Like, why would you give up 60, 80 hours your week for 100 grand, time away from your family, missing kids' birthdays, not being in there on sports days for money? You can't buy that time back. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. But
trust me, from my personal point of view, being there, an exact point yesterday, taking my son to hockey, and he's learning to play hockey goalie and doing a bloody great job at it, right? Seen some amazing things from him. For the crowd around to go, don't know how he saved that, but he did. He's doing something right. So if I'd have been working, could have easily been spraying and someone else take him or something like that. But no, chose to be there. He remembers that. And that's an investment in my kids / my replacement. So to teach them the right things about being there. There's no price that you can put on that.
No.
Like if you'd have said, I'll pay you $100,000 to not go watch your son play hockey, as tempting as that might be, you go watch your son play hockey and watch him grow as a person and do amazing things. But if you don't have that choice and you're on a mine site, working for someone else in a truck, or driving someone else's tractor, and they say, you can't go to that sports day because you've got to go spreading, spraying, whatever. Yeah. Okay. What's that cost? And we'll go back to tax time, right? So you've earned this $100,000 driving this bloke's tractor, and you're going to get your $5,000 tax back. What could you do with that $5,000? Well, let's round it. You could save up a bit more, and we could make it 6, right? 6.5 gets you started with the big daddy of what we've got in this business, right? So then what you've then got is the product, a business model to follow with a training platform that teaches you step by step, and you've got a business. Bang, done, started. Easy as that. Which can replace that $100,000.
Yeah.
I've seen heaps of people do it. They can do that $100,000 in 1 year, and then they can do it again the next year. And then hang on, they've done it 2 years in a row. Suddenly they're in a legacy position, and they're now they've got teams of people working for them. It's like the size of your business is the size of your problems. If you're the CEO of Nutrient, you've got tens of thousands of people working for you. If you're the CEO of DBM Sheep Studs, you've got 2 or 3, right? Different size problems. So in this business, there's not that big of problems. It's make content, post content, attract people to the business model, show them the business model, have the same products, rinse and repeat. It's called duplication. But we all started at the same point, right? Everyone starts at the beginning. And, that's the, so what are the issues in my days? Like how to create content, how to create dynamic content, how to trigger people. Are you doing enough? That is the question. Are you happy where you are? Like, I am to a degree, but I've got this beautiful path forward. Looks,
yes.
We talk about this vision board and stuff like that. Get up every day, look at the path, go, am I making steps to my path, or am I going through the motions? I remember going in Perth, and you go, get up, clock on at work, go dig a hole, bury some pipe for Telstra to put a cable in, knock off, go home, have a beer, rinse, repeat. And believe me, there was a fair bit of rinsing in those days. So, it's like those are the problems. That's a first world issue. If you've not got what are your issues? Write them down, like we discussed in our chat. Like quite often, I'll get a month. I'll go, right, we got bills to pay. Where's the money coming from? Do I have the money on hand? How do I get the money? And then the other list of problems, we go, right, we've got to do this many posts this week, make this many reels. We've got the Wednesday Wisdoms, we've got these Sunday sessions or Saturday Night Live. We've got to make that content. So that is the discipline in action. Where do I find the time? Where do I put that in my calendar? They're my problems, right? That's an us problem. So making the content to create the income flow, to create the cash flow, to pay the bills, to pay more bills, to then build something bigger. Because the Bugattis, they're not cheap. Or I still haven't priced up the McLaren 720S. Get it in Perth. I'll go and see them and have that conversation. But it's the size of that's my problem. It's so what is the size of your problems, and then how to deal with them? So how do you go into your life, Muzz? What's a couple of your issues you're dealing with at the moment, and then let's nut out a solution on how we're going to fix them, delegate them, time block them, stuff like that. How much of what is your time worth for the solution of the problem? And then how big is the problem really?
It's a bit of a tricky one to answer, mate, because there's only so much that I can I'm willingly happy to share at the moment. But the biggest thing, I suppose, at the moment that I can probably share is trying to work out processing cattle and getting fences done ahead of time. And for the most part, usually it's just me here. So
it's a staffing issue.
Delegation. Sorry.
It's a staffing issue then.
Staffing issue for sure, and also a bit of a prioritisation issue as well. So, working out on a daily basis, righto, what's first on the agenda today? You know, right, well, I can't shift the cattle without having the fences up and ready to go. Most of the time it's not an issue, but I've just got to had a couple of little run-ins lately. So I've got to get them done first, and then I can shift the cattle. So that's the easiest breakdown for me. But also, you know, as you're saying, like trying to work out my time. So while I'm doing that, I can't do another job in the meantime. So
you can't tie the fence up and bring the cows in at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's where, you know, you said it's a staffing thing, which would be nice to be able to have a bit of a crew. Can't at the moment, but that's another.
Here's a solution, Muzz, and this is something that I sit down and do quite regularly. So you've got how many kilometres of fence to do? And you write that down. And then you go, what if I was to pay a fencing contractor, you know, get a couple of quotes, got 100 kilometres of fence to do, mate. What can you do? You know, this is how I want it done. They go, all right, we can do it for this much a kilometre. How much is your time worth? You know, how many cows can you get in, tagged, off to market to create cash flow because someone else is doing that fencing? So can you, you know, when you look at what is your time worth, like, so, you know, my time bringing sheep into yards, do I have a yard built? Do I have a pen built that I can have them in the day before? So then I bring the yards there so it's quicker. So it's how much of your time becomes efficiency. If you're, I have my daughter out for the holidays and she's tying fences up because I'm on the boom spray, right?
Yes.
Right. So it's time blocking efficiencies. I had fences strained up, half notched up a few spots. Right, there's a kilometre. This how you tie fence up. Go tie fence up. Done. She was happy to do it. She's earning money. She's learning the hard way.
Yeah.
You know, but so for your example, how much fencing can you fully let go of? I mean, you've got to let go of the responsibility, I suppose, is the point. Because you're going to give it to this contractor who's going to put it up. And then in your brain, you have to go, all right, it's done. And then I'm not doing fencing anymore. Contractor's doing it. So he said he's going to have this much up by this day, gets you to move this mob. Then he does that bit by that day. So, and you work it out with the person, fits their schedule and stuff like that. So then you've delegated that responsibility. So now you're on an income producing thing by how many cows can I get in? How far do I have to muster? You know, now how many, you know, is my round yard and my crush efficient for me to tag cows? Is there some way I can tweak it? Do I do it myself? Do I do it with myself and the dogs? Can I do it with myself and one other person? You know, could I get a drone? Or, you know, rather than flying the helicopter, can you buzz them with a drone from the ute type thing?
Being open to new ideas, I guess, is the thing. Like you're explaining there, Stuart. Like looking at all your different options that are available to you.
Yeah, I've thought about, you know, for here looking for drones for fence line spraying. It's a bit of an overkill for the amount of fences I've got to spray. You know, the old ute with the firefighter on the back and you make up a boom setup and go spray it. That does the job. I've got it. I don't have to make it. So then as far as efficiency goes, I've got it. I've just got to do it. So you block time out and go, right, this is that week, couple of weeks, weather's good, wind, right, spray the fences, done.
Yeah.
It's like seeding and spraying and harvest. We time block. This is the months we're putting the crop in. This is the months we're taking it off. Get in and get it done. This is the months we're lambing. Okay, so I script the whole year. I don't lamb until after seeding. So I don't land during seeding because I don't want to be checking mobs and stuff while I'm trying to drive a tractor and a boom spray. So scripting your year. And if we go, so then would it be an option for you to go, all right, I can get the cows in on the weekend and tag a few. Do you get a job 5 days a week in town that half of it pays for the contractor to do the fencing?
Yeah.
If you were to go get a job at Elders or Nutrient and sell some chem or something like that, as an example, does half that wage go to subsidising the farm inputs? Because lots of people lots of partnerships value add a farm income. Mum did it for years. Teaching for mum, put food on the table and paid some extra bills when the farm couldn't. And that's how we've survived. So, things like that, that's also on your bit of paper. How big is the problem? What are my list of solutions? What do I think the best solution is?
Yeah.
How big is my problem? I spent 1 million hours earning 100 grand this year and paid too much tax and I'm getting 5 grand back. So how am I going to get my time back? I'm going to start an online business.
Yeah.
Right? So then while I'm doing that next 12 months, earning that 100 grand in my time, in my spare time, because there always is spare time. There's 24 hours in a day and there's 7 days in a week. It's always time to do something. Just got to set it out properly. So what are you going to do in your spare time? Learn something new. Because if you're not learning something new to grow, stuff like that, you're doing the same thing. So you're going to go nowhere. You're flatlining. If you're not learning, you're not, you get it to work. How do you learn how to fix a car? You go to school, you're a mechanic, you start pulling the car apart, you're learning. How do you learn how to tag cows? You get the cows in, you put them in the crush, and you tag them. In theory. I'm not much of a cow person, but that's sort of how it is. So, what is the problem? What is the solution? How big is your problem? Is your problem time or no time with the family because you're always working for someone else? So your problem is you're working for someone else. Why not work for yourself? Not everyone can have their own bricks and mortar business. Not everyone can have their own farm. We're some of the lucky ones. So, write the problem down and make the decision. Because if you don't make decisions, you're not going anywhere. You're going to have the same problem, and then they just compound, don't they?
I do, and that's the worst part is that bloody stockpile of jobs just backs up on you. And another way to look at what you just said, what you're not changing, you're choosing.
Yep.
And that always hits hard for me, and to a certain degree I hate it because there's times when it feels like there are no choices, but you really do have to try and look around to see what you can do to change things to move forward. And even if that is a matter of, if you can't change the situation, let go of something. And that's, I find very hard because there's only so much time and energy one person has each day. And if you've experienced burnout like you and I have, it's very hard. You become very conscious of your energy levels and what you can and can't do. And so, and I think to a certain degree, it's fair to say that you and I probably value what we put into our work and what we expect of our outcomes. But what we can actually achieve in a day is bloody hard. So you got to say, sit back and go, righto, is this really important to be done now or this week? Can that be put off till next, when I can get help in, whether it's the contractor or you got friends coming to visit to give you a hand, your daughter. But in the meantime, let that go. Get that out of your head. And sorry, mate, I've got to go too. My little alarm's just gone off.
I knew. I just looked at the clock and we got that time. I've got the perfect one for you to think about, Muzz. Elon Musk said it. Biggest mistake that some engineers make is they're trying to optimize something that shouldn't exist. So is this problem a problem, right? Should it exist, right?
Yeah.
If you can deal with this problem, it's not a problem, and it doesn't exist anymore, right? So how many of your, write your list down, how many of them are problems, how many can you make not exist? And then that's a heap off the stress bucket, you know? So I think that's a perfect, mind bomb to write that down, Muzz. It's great. We'll finish on that one.
Sounds good, mate. All right, I'll leave you to it. I'll let you sign off, and I'll keep trucking if you don't mind.
You keep trucking, mate. Honk, honk on the air horn.
Cheers, mate. Right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
Definitely. All right, people. So that is how it is. I think we've nailed it on the head, is that, you know, how big are your problems? What are the decisions you have to make? Should that problem exist, and can you deal with that? So choices have to be made. Decisions have to be made. Do your tax. Get your year planned out. What are you doing? What are you doing to better yourself? So easy as that. Thanks to all the farmers that grow all the food and sheep and cattle and stuff like that. You guys are awesome, feeding the world. Eat steak and eggs and lamb and all that sort of stuff. Thanks to the truckies that truck all that stuff around the world, because it doesn't get to our fridges and our tables without you guys and girls. And a big thanks to all the service people in the world, we'll say, who are protecting our ways of life and trying to assist people in having a sense of freedom. So that is it. That's it for today. Peace out. Have a good one, people.